welcome to another daily vlog number 5. Yes, I have had a bit of a better day. I managed to go out for a bit. I didn't bring you along for the ride like I said I would do, but I just wanted to get out the house for a bit, So I went and got a little bit of retail therapy. Went around the shops, Forbidden Planet and in Hull and everything, and HMV and all that kind of thing. Picked up some bits and that, and just wanted to get out the house because I've been pretty much just at work or just kind of sauntering around the house, and just thought, well, seeing as I've got a 3-day weekend now, I thought, why not? So yeah, I managed to pick up a few things. I bought a new transformer. I'm not really going to show that on here, really, but fuck it, I will. But yeah, I managed to get a transformer. This is from Forbidden Planet. I got the new animated Legacy United Motormaster, which I will be doing a review on my other channel, my main channel. Also, I picked up this Deadpool and Wolverine. I didn't even realise it was out yet, and I saw it in HMV, and I was like, yes. I have to say, all of a sudden, has anybody else noticed that they're starting to release Blu-rays on really thin all of a sudden? It's not a bad thing, but I'm like, why didn't they do this at the beginning when Blu-rays first came out? I don't know what it is. I kind of like the more thinner versions, because with them being thinner, if they went with this idea of a thinner case, if they went with this from the beginning, you would actually get a hell of a lot more films on your display cases and stuff. Because with them being thinner, you'll be able to kind of fit a lot more in a row. Compared to like the ones that I know there's not much difference between the two. If I can find a regular Blu-ray one, I think I've got one here. So I've got this one, which is the Gundam Wing Endless Waltz anime box set. This is a regular Blu-ray, as you can see. That's just a regular thick one. But then you've got the new ones. So I've taken off the sleeve, and if you notice, it's not much. It's roughly, it's not that much of a difference, but it is narrower. It is cool. I do like it. It's not. I'm not kind of saying it's a bad thing, but I just think it's a good idea that they're. I don't know why they just decided to do it. And I've noticed a lot of more recent, and not all of them, not every film that goes on a Blu-ray is on the thin cases, the regular Blu-ray cases, but like the thicker ones. But there is like a lot of the more newer releases, they've started to do the thinner cases, and I kind of like it. Well, I don't know. It don't take much to really kind of make me think, oh, that's awesome, It's just, I think, if they went with that idea from the beginning, I understand when it's a box set. I understand if it's like there's more than one disc, say if it's like a full series box set, and there's like maybe 2 or 3 discs inside, then I can understand it being a regular Blu-ray size or a little bit thicker. I can understand that. But when it's just a regular film, just a film, nothing else, just one disc inside, it doesn't need to be a real thick case. So I think they've gone with like its packaging. They're trying to reduce maybe the amount of plastic they're using, like economical kind of thing. Maybe is probably where they're going with, is trying to use less plastics, or they're using a different type of plastic to make these cases now. I don't know, and they've decided to make them thinner so that for people that collect physical media, things like that. So I don't know. I don't know what the decision behind it was, but I just find it intriguing. And I also picked up this. Yes, it's a CD. Yes. It's rare that I buy physical CD albums, but but even though I love my physical media, but I saw this, and this was in HMV as well, and I was just looking through, and I thought Evangelion CD, interesting. And I had a look on the back, and it's the soundtrack to the original anime series, Neon Genesis Evangelion. So yeah, happy to get that. It's got a couple songs on it. It's got the main theme song, of course. It's got a couple versions of Fly Me to the Moon, because for some reason they did like a cover of Fly Me to the Moon for the ending title song. Some of the Japanese voice actors, and you can tell obviously they're singing it in English, but you can tell it's, not the best. It's like broken English, but it's cool. But yeah, so I've got this, and I'm quite happy with it because I've got all of Evangelion now. I've got the original anime series. I got the original anime series that came out back in like the early 90s. Well, the dub started about the mid 90s, anyway, so it was around about mid to late 90s when the English dub for Neon Genesis Evangelion more came to the West and it got dubbed into English. It was more mid to late 90s, but it was actually produced like late 80s, early 90s in Japan. But yeah, so I've got the original series, and I've got all the rebuild films. I've got the soundtrack on CD. It is also available on vinyl as well. I would like to pick up it on vinyl as well at some point. This is the thing of collectors. Like I said, I've got other interests other than just certain things. I do like my physical media. I do like to collect physical media, if I've got the space for it. But yeah, I've got the original Neon Genesis Evangelion. But this is Neon Genesis Evangelion, the complete original series. These are no longer produced. These are out of print. Platinum editions. Some of these are German release that actually still have the English dub on them. And I bought some of these. I think I bought all but about 3 of these box sets from the voice actress of Oscar, of the English dub of Oscar. Yeah, you can't make it up, can you? Yeah, I went to a convention. Let me sit down a minute. I went to a convention in Doncaster called Digicon, and I went with Sam, and they did it was actually celebrating an anniversary. I don't know if it was like 10 or 15 years since the original Neon Genesis Evangelion came out or something. It was like an anniversary panel they did. And they managed to get Spike Spencer, who played Shinji in English dub. They got Tiffany Grant, who played Oscar. And they also got Matt Greenfield, who was the ADR voice director. And he also voiced one of the Nerve Center controlists, the guy with the glasses. Those that have watched the series will recognise who I'm talking about. Hopefully. But yeah, so I managed to meet all 3 of them, and she actually had these on a table with prints and stuff, and on her autograph table, and she actually had all these. She had like a load of like DVDs, and they were from her personal collection. These platinum edition box sets that I bought off her They were from her personal collection. She had a shrine. She told me she's got a shrine of Neon Genesis Evangelion stuff. She's a bit of a nerd herself, and she loved the series, and she had a massive soft spot for Oscar. It was one of her favourite roles. She managed to get to do, and she actually had like a shrine made. She had like loads of stuff that was Oscar based, like figurines and plushes and all sorts of stuff. And so the sets that I got off her were actually German released, and I found out from her, Tiffany Grant, the voice of Oscar, she also provides the German dub voice for Oscar. So she doesn't just do the English dub, she also does the German dub. And apparently she grew up in Germany. She's actually German. She grew up in Germany as a young girl, and her parents and her emigrated to America. And obviously, so she's got a dual citizenship. She's German and American. And so yeah, I found that out from her, that she provides the German dub voice for Oscar as well as the English, which is cool. But yeah, the fact is that I managed to get them from her. I think a couple of them are signed actually from her. I don't know if all of them are, but I do remember her signing some of them. But yeah, the fact is that, I mean, like I said, they've re-released the original anime series for Neon Genesis Evangelion. They've re-released it as of, I think, last year, or was it this year? But it actually has the new dub, the Netflix dub. It has both dubs on it, actually, I think, or I don't know. There's two versions of it. They like I say, I've got the Platinum editions, which were the original. There was released singular as like volume box sets, and then it did actually get a re-release with the original dub as well, as like a newer, updated box set, like a thick, big box set. And then Netflix got the rights, license rights, to put it up on Netflix, the original series. And they decided to redub it, do a complete brand new redub, English dub for it, and none of the original voice actors came back. Even though there was a big campaign for trying to get Spike Spencer back and Tiffany Grant and everyone else that worked on it in the past. And unfortunately, Netflix just ignored that and went their own way. And the English, I wouldn't say it's well, yeah, it's a terrible dub. I mean, I've just got a soft spot. Those voice actors, the English dub, the original English dub, I have a soft spot for, and the actors that performed those roles. That's who I imagine, and that's who I picture whenever I watch the series. And the fact is, they redubbed it, and a lot of those voice actors, the new version is awful. It really, really is awful. So the reason why I've never rebought it or decided to buy like the full box set, the newer box set, is because it has the new dub on it. I don't know if it has the older dub on it as well. Sometimes they put the more than one audio track on. They might, like if it's a special collector's edition, because I do know that there has been some series in the past that have had redubs for whatever reason, maybe due to licensing. A lot of companies, a lot of English dub companies back in the day did go out of business, and the rights sort of kind of got lost in the ether, and managed to get reacquired by other companies, and they decided to redub it because of licensing and to get around it all and be able to re-release it again. Like Escaflowne, for instance. I know I'm going on a big tangent here, but Esclaflowne is another popular anime series, which is also a mecha anime, which means it's big giant robots piloted by humans. And yeah, Esclaflowne actually has two dubs. There's an original dub that came out probably back in the 90s, and then think it was Funimation. I think got the rights, so I can't remember now, but two companies have dubbed it. Again, probably licensing. So there's two dubs for Esclaflowne. There's also two dubs for Card Captors, because the original dub that came out back when I was a kid, back in the 90s, it was heavily censored, the original dub, and it actually was it was that different and that censored. A lot of episodes were left out and all this for whatever reason, and it completely changed the narrative of the series that much that the people in Japan that produced it wasn't happy with the end product. So it actually got picked up. It actually got licensed for a redub through Funimation, and they redubbed it as well. And yeah, so. I think also, there's a few series that have got redubs for whatever reason. But yes, but yeah, I'm happy with what I got today. Happy, very happy indeed. So yeah, I'm just chilling out now, chilling out for the rest of the evening. Gonna enjoy the rest of my weekend and then back to it on Monday. My dad's back, I think, on Wednesday of next week. So my dad will be back on Wednesday. I don't know what time, because obviously we've been in Australia. It's likely going to be relatively late, my dad getting home. I won't be surprised if it's going to be like early hours in the morning, or it generally depends really of what time they get on the plane. But the fact is they have a layover in between, because when my dad and Jackie went flew to Australia originally, they had a layover in China, in Hong Kong, for about 9 hours, or I don't know. There was a fair few hour respite layover in China, and then they had a further 9 hours on top of that to get to Australia. So that'll probably be the same coming back, I guess, either China or Thailand, whatever it is, wherever they'll have to catch the next flight from. So yeah, it's going to be a long flight back. So the likelihood is they'll probably, I don't know what time they'll be back Wednesday. Either will be Wednesday or it'll be early hours Thursday by the time they get home, I assume. So yeah, the daily vlogs are going to continue until Wednesday. So you're going to get at least you're going to get at least 10 days worth of daily vlogging. If I'm able to, I would like to try and increase it to at least 2 weeks if I can. It is possible, it is plausible, but I would have to try and try and dance around my dad being back. Because when my dad comes back, it's a lot harder. Well, when my dad's here, it's a lot harder for me to try and make videos. I don't have the freedom to be able to do it unless my dad's elsewhere or doing something or not here. I know that sounds really weird to say, but it's just obviously when my dad's here, I'm unable to talk about what I want to talk about in front of my dad, because my dad thinks a lot of the stuff that I am into, he doesn't really understand it and he doesn't get it. And it's very difficult to be open with my dad about my hobbies and interests. My dad doesn't like the idea of me collecting toys. My dad doesn't like the idea of me buying physical DVDs and stuff. And he's always having a go at me about getting rid of stuff because of space. He's also it has a problem with me because it has a problem with it. It just doesn't understand why me at the age I am, I'm still watching stuff that he thinks is for kids only, and also like cartoons and animation, for instance, and other things that I'm into besides Transformers and reviews and stuff. You know, my dad just doesn't get it. He just doesn't understand it, and it's that's why I try to kind of like make the videos when either when my dad's kind of doing something else or is not currently here. I have a bit more freedom to be able to express myself in what I do. Because my dad, if I was to kind of do a video, my dad was around. My dad would likely just walk into my room or walk into it and mess it up, and it'll take me longer to kind of sort it out. Yeah, I know it's a weird thing to say, but it's just that's my dad's mindset. My dad doesn't like it. If I bring another toy into the house, my dad has a massive go at me about it, saying like, you know, you don't have there's no space, you've got way too many, you need to get rid of some, you need to see about getting rid of stuff, all sorts of stuff and like that. And I suppose I'm not the only one out there that is a collector that probably has a problem with people in their lives that seem to have a bit of a problem with it. But yeah, I mean, I understand. I mean, I would love to have my own place, but I'm not financially in a point. I'm not financially secure enough to be able to do that or to make that plunge. It is something I am working on, and I would like to try and get my own place. Because if I've got my own place and I've got my own freedom, I can buy what I want to buy. I can carry on collecting. I can, you know, have maybe a more of a dedicated space and area for my collection and other things. You know, like at least having a 2-bedroomed house, for instance, or a 2-bedroomed property. So one of the rooms I can convert into a collection room and things like that. You know, so actually have like a dedicated space for it all instead of it just all being a bedroom and collection room in one, like it currently is at the moment. But that's the thing. I mean, I need to get my ass into gear and try and get some money saved and see about getting my own place, because you know yeah. So I've got my own freedom and my own not just freedom for collecting stuff, but just I've got my own freedom for other reasons. You know, I mean, I'm almost 35. I'll be 35 in about a couple of weeks' time, end of November, and I'm 35 and I don't have my own place. I'm still living with my dad, and it's yeah, it gets me down sometimes. Really, it does get me down because I see people that are my age that are much more, you know, maybe they're married or they've got families or they've got a nice home, or they maybe don't have, or maybe they're not with somebody but they have their own place at least. You know what I mean? And yeah, when I see that, I kind of think, why can't I have that either? Even though I could have that, but it's not that easy, you know. Money is a problem, and you need money for these things, and yeah, you need to be financially stable to be able to do it. But anyway, but that's going to be today's vlog. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with another one, and but yeah, take care, everybody. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll be back tomorrow. See you soon.